Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a long overdue Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine update. Now, as per usual, before we dive into everything, the usual stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. And every view, click, like, everything, all that type of stuff goes a massive way to supporting the channel and kind of keeps me actually focused on doing this, in all honesty. So, it's been a while, really, since we've had any kind of update as to what's happening with Combat Patrol magazine. The trial period has been and gone, and it's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth for a little while, for a couple of months in all honesty. But if you're unaware what Combat Patrol magazine is, then let's have a quick little explanation of it. So, Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine will be the third Warhammer 40k Partworks magazine to come from Hatship Partworks. Following on from the success of Warhammer 40k Conquest and Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine, both of which focused on the edition of that time, whether that was the 8th edition or 9th edition, good old Combat Patrol magazine is going to focus on the 10th edition. So, yeah, it's been a year since it came out, so it's about time we had the magazine. Now, going back, Conquest magazine focused solely on Space Marines and Death Guard minis. So you got a load of minis from the starter box, you got a load more extras, you got a magazine giving you story, history, build guides, painting guides, and much more. You also got loads of paint, brushes, and a few extra bits and pieces in there as well, whether it was dice, range, rulers and stuff like that. And yeah, it was pretty decent, so not too bad. All of it worked out cheaper than if you were buying the minis directly from GW, your rulebook and such like, because you got pretty much everything that you need to play or learn how to play in the magazine's run. It went on for 80 issues, so it's quite a lot, but really good stuff. Now, Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine followed exactly the same trend. Now, I did Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine, so if you want to check out all them videos, you actually can. They're all in the playlist. There's quite a few, so have a bit of fun with that and make sure you got plenty of time. But anyway, the magazine focused on, obviously, the poster boys of 40k, for Space Marines. We also got the new and improved Necrons, but we also got some Adeptus Mechanicus units and Adeptus Sororitas units, bringing our total factions to 4. They also gave us 10 bonus issues at the end of the run, so instead of going to 80 like it was supposed to, it actually went to 90 issues where they gave us extras, which was pretty damn cool because they gave us some really nice minis out of it. Really good times. They also obviously did the usual. They gave us paints, brushes, texture tools, essentially the whole good old rules book, stories, the lot. So, pretty damn good stuff, especially for anybody who's getting into Warhammer 40k. This is actually a very good start point for you to kind of get you going. Now, alongside both of the 40k magazines, there have also been two really good, as I see it, Warhammer Age of Sigmar magazines. Both have been fully covered on this channel. So I started off with Warhammer Mortal Realms magazine, fantastic, gave us Stormcast Eternals and the Nighthaunt, and then we have Stormbringer magazine, which gave us more Stormcast Eternals, alongside the Gloomspite Gits, Cruel Boys, Ironjaws, Cadron Overlords, and Sylvaneth minis as well. So we got quite a lot more out of it, and it's still going now. There's still a few issues left to go. We're just under, I think it's 8 at the end of this week to go, and it's been really good fun. I've enjoyed it. I love the magazine. It's really good fun because it gives us the same stuff. It breaks down the game, tells us how to play, gives us paint, guides, everything. So it is enough to get you going. So as we are obviously coming up towards the end of Stormbringer magazine, it's actually about time that we had a new 40k magazine hit shelves, because they do like to overlap them. So when Combat Patrol magazine finishes, potentially a new Warhammer Age of Sigmar magazine, you never know. Now, the good thing with these magazines is that they focus very, very nicely. So obviously Combat Patrol magazine is going to focus on Warhammer 40k, and it will be the newest edition of Warhammer 40k. But instead of us just getting Space Marines and Tyranids, which is where your focus is from the starter boxes, in all honesty, they're giving us Combat Patrols, which for Combat Patrol boxes are essentially a starter box for each faction. So these boxes give you at least one HQ unit, a bunch of forces, and some heavy hitting units as well. So sometimes you get a vehicle, sometimes you get some heavy ordnance, pretty cool stuff. Now, the magazine will not obviously be stopping just at those things, so we will also get some extras. So we will get a few extra units, whether it could be some extra troops, it could be a tank, it could be a truck, who knows. We will also be getting paints, some brushes, there'll be some dice in there, there'll be a couple of other bits and pieces, and obviously we get everything to break down the magazine to kind of keep the rules book and such like to get us going. So in total, the magazine is going to give us 9 different Combat Patrols, which seems like a lot, but it's actually really, really good value. It's pretty damn cool. So the factions we're going to get with this magazine are, of course, the Space Marines, because, you know, we can't go anywhere in 40k without Space Marines. We'll get the Tyranids, as they are the current big bad of 40k. We get the Leagues of Votann, one of the newer armies of Warhammer 40k, one of the pretty coolest as well, in my opinion, because I do like these guys and have quite a few of them. We get Eldari, so Space Elves. We get Astra Militarum, your standard humans. They have had a recent update, and we're going to get some of those guys. They look a lot better, they look a lot nicer, and they have some pretty cool units as well. We get the World Eaters, which are a Chaos Space Marine faction, kind of. We also get Chaos Space Marines, which are your generic Chaos Space Marines, in all honesty. We get Orcs, which are pretty cool. You do get the Boomdacker Snazwagon in there, I think, if I remember rightly, or something like that, which is a really cool. You get a couple of cool vehicles, really good stuff. And last but not least, we get the Gene Stealer Cults. Very, very nice units. And their Combat Patrol box is one of the ones that I personally like the best out of all of them. So, pretty damn cool stuff. If you are new to Warhammer 40k, this is actually a really, really good opportunity to try out different factions on a budget and pick the one you want and build on the one you want, or just have multiple and play whichever ones you fancy at the time. It's entirely up to you. If you're an old hand at Warhammer 40k though, it could be an opportunity for you to add more units to your army for a cheaper price. So, whether you're going for Space Marines and you want to get all the Space Marine units, you can get a few of those and save money in the long run. Or if you're, going after Leagues of Votann, you can do the same. Either way, you can do that. Or if you wanted to start a new army, in all honesty, you could get that new army box to kind of get you going, see how it takes you, and have a bit of fun with it and enjoy it. Now, the biggest question though, and the biggest update obviously, is going to be when will this actually hit shelves? And although there's actually no current official answer to that question, good old Forbidden Planet have given us an unofficial answer to the question. So, the first 5 issues are currently available. Well, I was going to say they're currently available. The first 5 issues are currently listed on Forbidden Planet. Issue 1 cannot be pre-ordered though, it is unavailable because I think they've actually ran out of stock. And the street date for issue 1 on Forbidden Planet's website is the 28th of August for the UK. Now, bit of a pinch of salt on that. Forbidden Planet's track record for release dates for, say, Stormbringer magazine is, a little bit ropey. So, for instance, there is actually a good chance that this will be the 21st of August. And the only reason I say that is because they have a habit of listing things for a week after it's actually released. For instance, at the time of recording, issue 72 is due this week, but Forbidden Planet currently still have issue 71 available to pre-order, and listed as 71 is this week, and 72 is due for the 10th of July, which it just isn't. We've already had issue 71 last week, and it's definitely issue 72 this week. So sometimes there's this little mistake, and it may or may not be for 28th of August. We'll see. Wait for an official word. Anyway, we also have an updated image for the contents of the magazine. However, this may not be the final image from what we've been told, but there are a few key changes to what we get that we can note in there. So, for instance, the Astra Militarum will be getting heavy weapons teams, as well as a few other units. Chaos Space Marines apparently again get Terminators extra, which I must admit, because everything's moved around on the image, it's hard to pinpoint everything. And the Eldari get Wraithguard units as well, which are pretty damn cool. So, and there might be a few other changes, and obviously, as I say, this is apparently not the latest image. There is one more to come, which Hatch It Apart yet to kind of confirm. But this is what Warhammer.com have said. So we will see when they announce everything properly what's going to happen with that one. Now, in all honesty, I am still not 100% sure if I will be jumping down the Combat Patrol rabbit hole at the moment, partly because I haven't done all my Imperium collection, but also because Age of Sigmar's new edition is coming out, and that will probably take over my painting desk for quite some time. So, I'm not too sure yet. There will be a choice to be made towards the end of August. We'll see. Either way though, if you're going to be getting this magazine, the collection is really, really worth it in my opinion. If you want to get everything out of it, by all means buy everything out of it. You can get a load of minis and paints, and essentially the entirety of the rulebook around 25% cheaper than if you were going to get it from GW. Plus, issue 5 comes with a lovely exclusive Space Marine mini, which is a pretty damn cool one. It's an exclusive sculpt. You won't get it anywhere else, apart from eBay, for a lot more money than it's actually worth. And, yeah. If you choose to subscribe directly to the magazine, there is always the premium version too, if you wish to. It does give you 4 bonus issues at an extra cost. It's an extra £2 per issue. However, you do get some extra units in there. So, for instance, issue 1 comes with a Hive Tyrant and Brutalis Dreadnought for your Tyranids and your Space Marines, respectively. Number 2 gives you the Demon Prince and Howling Banshees for your Eldari and your World Eaters and Chaos Space Marines, because you can use the good old Demon Prince for both. Number 3 gives you the Brachia Thunderkin and Killer Cans for your Orcs and Leagues of Votann minis. And then finally we get the Rogel Dawn Battle Tank and the Brood Coven for the Astra Militarum and the Genestealer Cults. Alongside all of that, if you do sub, obviously you get your usual stuff. You get a hobby kit, so you get a mould line remover, some extra paintbrushes and such like, and glue. You will also get a mug sent to you at some point. You will also get your usual binders and such like that. Although they give you the first one for free, they do charge you for every additional binder, and it's not cheap. It's 10 quid per binder. So, you know, it is what it is. If you don't fancy subscribing directly though, there are other options for you though. So you can always go to your local newsagent, ask them to order it in specifically for you. This is what I personally do with Stormbringer magazine. I did it with Mortal Realms, and I did it with Imperium. If you ask them nicely, they will order it in for you. They will keep it on reserve. Just make sure you're collecting it on a regular basis, and don't dick them around, because if they don't send it back by the time the new issue comes out, they cannot get a refund on it, so they are stuck with it. Just be aware of that. The other thing is though, you can always go to your nearest WH Smiths, ask them to order it in for you. Or if you want to cherry pick individual issues, you can order on forbiddenplanet.com. Just remember you do have to pay postage on that. If though you're going to go to your local newsagent, you can ask them to order additional copies of issues for you as well. So there is also that alternative option as well. So if, for instance, you want to build up a bigger force of, say, the Leagues of Votann, just ask you, and you're getting it from your local newsagent, just go ask them, can you order me an extra couple of copies of this, of issues X and X? It can be done. They more than likely won't mind, because it earns them a bit more money in the long run. Plus you're supporting a local shop, so why not? Now, either way you look at it, the collection could be really, really good. and well worth it in all honesty. So, but it is entirely up to you if you want to go for it. But in all honesty, that is it from me for now. So we'll have an update. I'll probably just post when we get an official date, because I don't want to go through it, because I don't think you guys want to hear me going through this all again. But anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. It's been a little bit ropey of a video because I've gone off a partial script. But yeah, anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you later this week for Stormbringer magazine, won't I? So have a good one. Enjoy it. Bye-bye now.